We've heard a lot about the fact that Democrats have been talking about Elon Musk. And let me give you a news alert. We're not going to stop talking about him. We're going to keep talking about him until he is out of here. Now, if he wants to be elected or appointed and confirmed to something, then so be it. But as of right now, we have somebody that for whatever reason, I don't know if y'all just trying to play in our face because you think we're stupid, or if you literally just cannot see the difference in a George Soros and a Bill Gates. But let me give you a little bit of the difference. Number one, George Soros nor Bill Gates ever somehow decided to turn off the spigot of money that was going through to various organizations and agencies to the extent that it had actually been ordered by law that they should have access to it, to the extent that people are dying.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Golf.
That's it.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Golf.
That's it.
You won't believe what just happened to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett just totally shredded Elon Musk and Donald Trump on live TV. I mean, no survivors, no mercy. Trump looked completely lost, like he had no idea where he was, and Elon was still out there pushing his bogus ideas. Crockett didn't hold back, calling out their nonsense and delivering a reality check. They'll have you rethinking those fanboy tweets. And wait till you hear her take on Musk's bizarre plan to send condoms to Gaza. Yeah, you read that right.
So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right? Now let me
Jasmine Crockett was on live TV practically wielding a verbal flamethrower, and guess who was in her sights? America's two favorite Bond villains. If Bond villains had less style and more Twitter addiction, Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a quick jab. This was a full-in demolition. Crockett didn't just pull receipts, she brought out the Costco-sized binder, highlighted the key points, and handed it to them with a side of sass.
I do want to be clear, before the Trump administration came in, this committee did exist in the form of the Oversight Committee. Our task is to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. Interestingly enough, our chairwoman, who is so passionate about this today, she missed every single one of those improper payment hearings. Just to be clear, I was there, so I don't want anyone to believe that Democrats just come to work and don't plan to do work. Right now, they have relinquished their constitutional duties over to an unelected bureaucrat, someone who no one went out to vote for. And absolutely, he is occupying the Oval Office, as we saw yesterday, and that is a first for me to see someone occupying the Oval Office who's never actually been elected to the Oval Office and actually answering more questions than the person that allegedly got elected.
Let's start with the human Tesla fire hazard himself, Elon Musk, the guy who somehow convinced millions he's a genius, all while failing to make cars that don't randomly burst into flames or crash straight into parked ambulances. Elon waltzed into this situation like he was here to save humanity, but Crockett wasted no time reminding everyone that this guy can't even save Twitter. Sorry, X, the app formerly known as Twitter, now just known as the app your uncle rages at.
My question is, Elon, what have you done besides tear us apart, besides be in over your head, besides make sure that you continue to enrich yourself so that not only you can continue to be the richest person in the world, but you can make sure that other people that are already struggling, unfortunately, end up falling on even harder times?
And let's not forget his favorite side hustle, pumping Doge like it's the cure for cancer. Musk hopped on TV acting like Doge was the next big financial revolution. Fast forward, and Doge holders are still waiting for that to the moon moment, while Musk just buys himself another golden bathtub. Jasmine didn't even break a sweat. She just pointed out the obvious, that Doge was never anything more than a glorified inside joke turned stock manipulation playground.
Then another layer of fear, especially since normally when you are going to be in a position like that, you have to go through security clearances.
And let me tell you, some people think security clearances are all about whether or not you have a warrant or not. No, they look at whether or not you have some sort of divided interest. They look at whether or not you have good credit. They look at so many other things. And we're talking about someone who's unelected, unvetted, and definitely unconfirmed that is now literally sitting atop our $6 trillion, and we don't know what it is that he's doing, and we honestly don't know what role he has. Look.
It gets even dumber, Elon, with the confidence of a guy who just skimmed a conspiracy meme and decided it was gospel, went on to accuse President Biden and the Democrats of using your tax dollars to send, wait for it, condoms to Gaza. Yes, in the middle of a humanitarian disaster, Elon decided the biggest scandal was the destruction, the suffering, or the chaos. But Biden allegedly smuggling Trojan packs across borders like some kind of government-funded Cupid. Of course, there's no proof. No receipts, no documents, just Elon firing off tweets like a divorced dad who thinks he cracked the Da Vinci Code after 2 beers. Crockett, without even blinking, made sure to let the audience know just how ridiculous this sounded, because honestly, if you really think the Democrats sat around saying, you know what Gaza needs, less food, less medicine, more condoms, you might just be eligible for an honorary Twitter blue check.
If you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying, and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was a lie.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. All's nonsense almost starts to look cute when you shift your focus to the walking orange spray tan himself, Donald J. Trump. Jasmine Crockett didn't even need to get creative. Trump's basically a meme factory at this point, churning out free content for every late-night show, SNL sketch, and therapy session across the country. Trump showed up looking like he got lost on the way to a golf course and just decided to hold a press conference instead. But Crockett didn't just roast him, she formed him.
You were involved in a hearing with Elon Musk about condoms, right? Do you remember this whole?
It wasn't with Elon. Elon, if you're watching, come through, boo, because you haven't shown up for the Doge.
That's right. It was
yet.
Right.
And then the cherry on top, Trump, the self-proclaimed very stable genius, tried to flex his business acumen. You know, the same acumen that brought us Trump Steaks, Trump University, and Trump Vodka, all of which failed faster than his attempts to pronounce anonymous. Crockett calmly reminded the world that this is the man who bankrupted a casino people, the one business model where people literally walk and hand you their money. And somehow he still walked out broke. That's like drowning in a kiddie pool. Seriously, this is the guy who turned a business built on people losing money into a loss for himself. At this point, it almost feels like an Olympic sport for him. Trump University, don't even get me started. It was a scam so elaborate it makes the plot of Ocean's 11 look like child's play. And yet somehow he's still out here acting like he invented capitalism. It's almost impressive how consistently he proves that a complete lack of self-awareness is his greatest asset.
Insurrection. This just happened to be after, in a bipartisan way, this particular chamber decided that they were going to impeach.
And let's not forget Trump Vodka drinks so bad it should come with a do not drink warning label. He couldn't even get the alcohol market to believe in him. And this is the same guy who wants us to trust him with, well, everything. Honestly, if Trump's business ideas were a reality show, it'd be called Failing Forward, where the only prize is losing big and getting absolutely nothing in return. Just when you think he can't fail harder, he finds a new way to prove he's practically an expert in failure. But it wasn't just insults. Crockett brought the facts. She called out Musk's union-busting hobby like it was just another quirky billionaire side quest. This is the same guy who claims to be a man of the people while treating his workers like NPCs in a dystopian video game. Meanwhile, Trump, the so-called champion of the forgotten man, somehow keeps forgetting that the forgotten man is still waiting on the healthcare plan he promised 7 years ago. Any day now, right? Crockett didn't need to yell. She didn't need fireworks. She just laid out the reality, and you could practically hear the sound of MAGA hats being adjusted nervously. It's wild how these two, who thinks he's Iron Man, but is more like the knockoff action figure you find at a gas station, and the other who thinks he's George Washington reincarnated but can't name the 3 branches of government, still manage to get airtime without someone just walking in and changing the channel for them.
Lies. That's the big issue that we have. Elon Musk boosted false USA conspiracy theories to shut down global aid. Now, while he was boosting those lies about US aid, and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, the only money that didn't stop was the money to him organization. Now, I don't know how you can have him be the watchdog as well as the guy that is literally living off of the government. If we want to talk about government welfare, it looks like Elon Musk, because it's my understanding that just on yesterday, a new contract was approved for approximately $300 million for Elon Musk. So listen.
And let's talk about that free speech grift again. Elon claims to be defending it like some weirdly insecure sci-fi protagonist. But the second anyone mentions his failing EV self-driving program, or the fact that he turned Twitter into an alt-right group chat, it's account suspension time. Free speech for him, sure, but everyone else, not so much. Trump, on the other hand, is still stuck replaying the 2020 election like it's Groundhog Day, except instead of learning and growing, he just keeps finding new ways to make it even sadder. And Crockett, she just sat there casually pointing out that the emperor has no clothes. And let's be honest, that's not an emperor you want to picture without clothes.
You're also calling on Musk to appear before Congress. Why? What do you want to ask him?
Well, first of all, I want to ask him, what exactly has he been doing? Who is it that he's hired? Who is it that he's firing? How he's coming to the conclusions that he's coming to? What makes him believe that getting rid of our workforce, including those that are in charge of keeping our nuke situation safe or keeping planes from falling out of the sky? I want some analysis behind what it is that he is recommending to the president or to OPM or to anyone else that is engaging in what I feel like is more so a dismantling of our modern day democratic republic. And I want him to basically prove me wrong. I want to know that there is some end game that actually benefits the American people.
Then came the best part. Crockett called out the whole Dogan Punny show, how both of these clowns in their own ways distract the public with fireworks while quietly robbing the place. Blind Musk throws up a SpaceX rocket, Trump throws a rally, and while everyone's distracted, it's business as usual for billionaires. But Crockett flipped the script, pulling focus away from the theatrics and shining a bright light on the disaster behind the curtain. The audience didn't just watch, they felt it. The laughs were real, the gasps were louder, and somewhere backstage you just know Elon was frantically DMing someone about memes to distract from this, while Trump was probably asking if he could sue Gravity for making him look bad on camera. And oh, the dope thing that wasn't even over. Crockett had the oxygen brilliancy to basically point out that Musk turned an internet joke into a pyramid scheme. Doge went from meme to market crash, while Musk just giggled all the way to the bank. It's giving Silicon Valley snake oil salesman vibes, but with less charm and more power outages.